everybody, welcome back. We are live backstage at the Rachael Ray Show in the prep kitchen. I'm Jeanette, this is my coworker Grant.
Hello.
And I am about to show you one of 4 One-Skillet super sensational dishes we're going to make on the show today. This is my One-Skillet lazy lasagna. And we're going to let this cool in the back real quick, and we're going to get things kicked off with dessert. Grant, what do you think?
Yes, today we're doing dessert first. We're actually making, we've never made this recipe before. We're going to do it for the very first time today, and we want your help. We're going to make a pie. It's called a lazy pie, or as we like to call it,
Pie on the fly.
Pie on the fly. And we're either going to make it with blueberries or strawberries. So right now in the comments below, let us know what kind of pie you want. Whoever answers first, that's the pie we're making. So is it blueberries or strawberries? Let us know right now. So right here I have a puff pastry that I've just cut out into a big wheel. That's going to be the topper to our pie. We're not going to make pie dough today because, like we said, this is a lazy pie.
Pie on the fly.
So I just sort of cut it out, or I rolled it out so it's nice and flat, and then we're going to cut it the same size as our skillet that we're cooking it in. Today we're going to use a small, I would say small-ish.
Yeah, it's like probably 10-inch, right?
Yeah, cast iron skillet. And you want to use something like this that's nice and heavy, because since it's such a big, like, nice skillet, it's going to cook the fruit really nice and fast, which is what we're looking for today, because we're making everything in one skillet, and we're going to do it super fast.
Yes, we are.
If you guys are just watching us right now or just tuning in, today we're making One-Skillet desserts and dinners.
Two dinners, 2 desserts, yeah.
And right now we're getting started on our pie on the fly. So, what are we making, guys? Is it going to be blueberries or strawberries?
Have we heard from anybody?
We're still looking.
Gina Richmond Yoon says blueberries.
Blueberries.
It's blueberry pie on the fly. Thank you,
Wonderful,
Gina.
Gina. Thank you so much for answering. Thank you so much for your help. So now we're going to make our blueberry pie filling. So we're going to take a bunch of blueberries, like I have right here. And if you guys can think of anything else to add to this, let us know. If there's any spices you want to see in here, if there's anything else,
got a kitchen full
comment
of things.
below.
Quickly.
We have a kitchen full
We
of
got to
stuff.
get this in the oven, so it's going to be done by the end of this broadcast.
So in here I have all of our blueberries. We're going to add a tablespoon of cornstarch.
Sure.
If you wouldn't mind
What's
adding
the cornstarch
that.
do in a pie?
So the cornstarch in a pie, whenever you're making a fruit pie, the berries sort of cook and the liquid comes out. And if you don't put cornstarch in it, then the liquid is going to stay really, like, soupy.
Oh, okay.
But this makes it nice and thick and gives
Nice.
it a good filling.
Okay.
Jeanette, what I want you to do is taste this blueberry.
Easy task.
And I want you to tell us if it's too sweet, too tart, or just right.
It's actually a little tart. It might be a little early in blueberry season.
Gotcha. So if it's a little tart, you're going to add extra sugar. So typically to this amount of blueberries, I'd add 3/4 of a cup, but let's add a cup
A whole
of
cup.
sugar
Okay,
today.
cool. Great.
Yeah. And if you guys are just tuning in, like I said, we've never made this before. You're making it with us today. So we're going to see how this turns out. In this bowl right now, I have some blueberries that Gina suggested that we use. And Jeanette's going to add in 3/4 of a cup of, or a cup of sugar.
Cup.
And we have a tablespoon of cornstarch in there. Now, I'm also going to add the zest of a lemon.
Which is funny because Ruth Betts just said we should have
Oh my
lemon
gosh,
zest.
Ruth,
It's
thank
like
you
she
so
can
much.
see the future.
You're a genius, Ruth. Thank you for participating. We love that. Now, I had Jeanette taste the berry earlier and ask her if it's too sweet or too tart. If the berries were too sweet, then you would add less sugar to this, and you'd also add the juice of the lemon because
Nice
that'll
too.
make it nice and tart. Because you want to balance out the flavors. Because, like we all know, fruit is a seasonal thing, so it tastes
Exactly.
different all year round.
Deborah says you heat the pan before you put the pastry in. I think we're starting with a cold
We're
skillet,
going to start
right?
with the cold skillet today, yeah. Now, we do have a lot of desserts online, though. If you're interested in skillet desserts, we have plenty of them.
Yes,
and
we
a lot
do.
of them do start with a nice, warm skillet. So you can check those out on the Rachael Ray Show website.
Do I have blueberry in my teeth?
No.
Okay, great.
No blueberry. You're good. All right, so I'm just going to toss this all together, and then we're going to put all of these blueberries into our cast iron skillet.
good already.
And today, we are cooking this live before your eyes. So we're going to pop this into the oven for about 20 minutes. And at the end of this broadcast, you're actually going to see this pie that we've never made before.
If
that
it works,
we're
I
all
think it's going to work. I have faith in us. I have faith.
together.
Hi, Paige from Alabama. How are you?
Hey, Paige.
Nice to hear from you.
You know what? I forgot to add salt to this. We got
Oh, yeah, just a pinch of salt right over the top.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of sugar here.
Okay.
So I'm going to put most of that in there and
Nice.
use some
It's
of
gonna
it
cook
for
down
our,
really great.
our
Kate wants to know what we're making. Hi, Kate. Welcome to the broadcast.
Hello,
we
Kate.
are live again in the backstage in the Rachael Ray Show Prep Kitchen. And today we are making, this is our pie on the fly. Gina helped us out earlier and we chose blueberry.
Yeah.
And now we're going on to make 2 more One-Skillet suppers and 1 more One-Skillet dessert.
So all that sugar that was kind of left in the bottom of the pan, I'm just going to sprinkle
That's
that on
going to be really
top.
beautiful.
And then
Should I
Jeanette,
cut holes?
Yeah, why don't you cut holes in that? Whenever you're working with puff pastry or pie dough, you want to cut some holes in it. Otherwise, it'll puff up really big, and we want it to be nice and flat, like a nice flat crust on top.
Perfect.
So we'll save these strawberries for something else.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll eat those for
For
breakfast.
lunch, breakfast.
Yeah. So we're going to pop this into the oven. Whenever I'm testing anything or making a pie in general, I do it on a sheet tray. That way if it bubbles over, you're not going to have a mess in the oven.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm going to put this in the oven at 400 for about 20 minutes, and we'll see what it looks like.
Ross says nutmeg.
Ooh, Ross, that's a good suggestion. Let's put it on
Oh,
top.
it's Grant's brother, Ross.
Oh, it's my
Hi,
brother,
Ross.
Hello.
Should we grab some nutmeg?
Yes,
Okay,
Ross,
great.
that's a great suggestion.
Excellent.
Ross is a nutmeg fiend. I know that about him. I think Tina's going to
Tina's
grab
gonna
some
grab us
nutmeg.
some nutmeg,
And then we're going to put that on top. I think that'll look pretty.
I think that'll be very pretty.
It'll look like sprinkles.
Should I get started on my one skillet dinner before you pop this in the oven?
So Jeanette's going to make a one skillet supper, right?
I am, yeah. So this is my lazy one skillet lasagna. And it's actually kind of a full circle moment for me because 10 years ago, before I even knew that food was going to be my career, I was cooking. I was in college, Sunday afternoons I used to cook with my girlfriends a lot. And I looked on the internet for a few recipes, and one of the recipes that caught my eye was a Rachael Ray recipe for a spinach and artichoke lazy lasagna. And the trick that she used that was like so catching was that she used store-bought ravioli instead of having to layer all the cheese and pasta.
Yeah.
And I thought that was such a great idea. So again, another full circle moment. I thought this dish was a little inspired by that. And 10 years later, I'm standing in her prep kitchen cooking, and that's not lost on me. It's a really, really cool. We have the best job, don't we?
Ooh, we have nutmeg.
We have nutmeg and the best jobs. So to this skillet, I started up with a little bit of about 1 pound of chicken sausage. I use spicy chicken sausage for this. You can use any kind of sausage you like. I tend to normally stick with chicken and turkey, but pork sausage works really great. Mara from Portugal.
Ooh, Portugal.
Wow, worldwide. Hi, Mara. How are you?
Oh, that's fun. We're going international.
Excellent.
Sounds like. Just a reminder to everybody, too, all these recipes we're making today are going to be live on the Facebook page later today.
Yes.
Especially for this pie, since we've never made it before. You can make this later, but we have to post this recipe later on today. So come back to the Facebook page and check it out.
All right, Grant, I'm going to have you pop that in the oven. And do you mind just chopping up my carrot real quick? So again, I said I have 1 pound of sausage browning in here. I brown that up first, then I actually use as a Rachael Ray tip. She uses a potato masher, so you can break it up with a spoon as best as you can. And then I kind of run the potato masher through, and I get it to be really, really fine. And to that, I added 1 chopped onion. I'm going to add a couple cloves of garlic. Hi, Sherry from Iowa. How are you?
Hello, Sherry. Like Jeanette was saying, too, this is her favorite Rachael recipe.
Yeah,
right?
inspired by, definitely.
So we thought it would be fun to ask you guys at home what your favorite Rachael Ray recipe is and which ones you make on a regular basis. Because we love to hear what you guys are making at home.
What's your favorite Rachael recipe? There's a million, but do you have
There's
one that you
so
make a lot?
many. I would say the one, I mean, I have a lot of favorites. The one I make the most often is buffalo chicken chili.
Oh, definitely. I do
which
that too.
also happens to be the #1 recipe from the show of all time.
So you're not the only person
So I'm not the
making
only
that.
person making it on a regular basis.
Yeah. Ross stole nutmeg from Dad.
Oh, good idea, Ross.
Okay, so I just grated in 3 cloves of garlic. I used one of these handy hand graters like Rachael always uses, and it kind of just eliminates having to chop real small. I took that tip from her as well. I do it all the time. Lydia says, is this good for a Father's Day brunch? I would say any of these dishes are really great for a Father's Day brunch, just because it's, again, my favorite part about having one skillet meals is that there's no dishes to do.
Yeah.
I know that that's probably your favorite part as well.
Yeah, I think a great thing too about brunch is this. All of these are pretty good make-aheads.
Definitely.
Like before Jeanette pops into the oven, at that stage you could just pop it into the fridge and pop it into the oven the next day. So this is a great make-ahead meal. Mary says shout out to her mom for her 85th birthday.
Happy birthday, Mary's mom.
Happy birthday, Mary's mom.
Oh, that's sweet. All right, so I am seasoning this pan up with a little bit of oregano or marjoram and a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes. If you use spicy sausage, you might want to eliminate that, but Grant and I like our food to be really spicy.
Yeah, I like it nice and spicy.
So now you can smell this. It's really coming together now. I am going to add in a few squirts of tomato paste. And growing up, my mom used to use tomato paste in the can. That's perfectly fine. But when you're using a small amount, I actually really like to use it from the tube. Yeah. Because all you have to do is just squirt a couple squirts in here. And then this stores really nicely in the refrigerator till the next time you're going to use it so that you're not wasting that whole can. So I'm just going to let this cook out. Rachael always says you don't know how long that tomato paste has been in that tube. So let it cook out a little bit. You can start to smell the tomato. Once it hits the heat, it starts to get really fragrant.
Alicia from Georgia is saying hello.
Hi, Alicia.
Hi, Alicia. Bye, Alicia.
I'm going to put a little salt and pepper in here.
Cool. When do we add the wine, Jeanette?
The wine, I know. We're standing in front of an open bottle of wine. So this next step is called deglazing, and that's just when you add in any liquid to a hot pan. I don't know if you could see this, through the camera, but there's all these little bits on the bottom of the pan, and that's the sausage, that's the vegetables cooking up really nicely, and that's all flavor at the bottom of the pan, so you don't want to let that go to waste. So first we are going to take a little bit of chicken stock. You can use beef stock. Sometimes I use water if I don't have stock in the house. And then I'm going to deglaze with a little bit more red wine. I just use a dry red wine. And again, you just scrape up all the bits from the bottom. And now Grant so nicely opened my next ingredient, which is a can of crushed tomatoes. Now, when I make a marinara sauce, I don't normally like it to be very chunky.
Yeah.
You like a smooth tomato sauce too.
I do. I like it nice and smooth too.
Yeah. So I use one 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and one more lazy step for using these is that it already comes infused with the flavor of basil. So there's a couple basil leaves in here as well.
That's such a good tip.
Crushed tomatoes normally have basil
you can
in them.
see it in there.
Yeah.
How about that?
Couple leaves. So I'm just going to stir this around real quick, and it's going to come to a bubble very, very fast because it's a very hot skillet already.
So Jeanette, Lori
Yeah.
from Lori is from the internet, and she's asking where can she find tomato paste in the tube?
You can find it in most grocery stores now.
So.
Yeah. The tomato paste in a can is normally buy the canned tomatoes.
Yeah.
The tomato paste normally tends to be near some of the other paste. Actually, in my grocery store, it's in like a little bit more of the like Asian condiment section.
Oh, really?
There's a lot of tubes of different things. Yeah, there's like fish sauce and everything. That's where I find it in
If you
mine.
can only find the one in the can, you can absolutely use that.
Absolutely no problem at
And
all.
I think Rachel has a great tip. If you do use that, you just use a tablespoon of it, and then you freeze the rest of it in a little bag, and you can break it off.
Break it off, use it later.
Justin's asking what's in my mug. I have a feeling Justin is my brother, maybe.
Or my brother. We both have
Oh my
brothers
God,
named
we
Justin.
both have brothers named Justin. It's water today.
It's water.
I'm drinking out of my Joy Behar mug today.
That was a souvenir I got you from Atlanta.
From
right?
when Jeanette went to visit CNN in Atlanta,
headquarters,
she got
yes.
me a Joy Behar
I
mug.
did.
Vonda from Nebraska says hello.
Hi.
Hey, Nebraska.
All right, so Grant, see how quick this came up to a bubble? Because you're cooking in the cast iron skillet, it comes to a bubble so quickly. And now, if I was normally making a Sunday sauce, like the way my grandma's and my mom's house used to smell growing up, you kind of let this just simmer really low all day. But since this is going to cook in the oven for about 45 minutes, I'm going to stop it right here. And the flavors have infused enough on the stovetop, and now they're going to continue cooking in the oven. So I'm going to have you do me a favor.
I'm getting lazier and lazier.
Lazy,
and I love it.
lazy, as lazy as possible. So I'm going to have you grab that bowl and spoon, and can you just scoop about half of that out for me?
Totally.
So now it's going to start the layering process. Hi, we just want to welcome our new viewers real quickly. I'm Jeanette, and this is Grant. We're backstage at the Rachael Ray Show Prep Kitchen, and we are right in the midst of my lazy skillet lasagna. We've got a blueberry pie on the fly in the oven, so fingers crossed that that's going to come out really well. And so I'm about to layer up this lasagna. We've got one more dinner, one more dessert, so stick with us. And just a reminder, after all of this is done, we're going to head back to our desks and finish up these recipes for you guys, and we're going to post them on our Facebook page a little bit later.
Yeah. Did I take out too much? Is that good?
No, that's actually perfect. That's perfect. So you just want a nice little thin coating on the bottom. And this is just like layering any lasagna. So my secret ingredient, and this is the ingredient that Rachel inspired me with, is the frozen ravioli. And I like the large round. And so the big tip here is you want to make sure that they're frozen. You don't want to thaw them out at all because as they're cooking in the oven, they're going to get a bit soggy. So we're going to just nestle these in. I use 2 bags of frozen ravioli, about 13 ounces.
These ravioli are so cute. They look like little UFOs.
They do, kind of,
They're
right?
Like orbiting in a world of marinara sauce.
Of delicious marinara sauce.
Yeah.
So now I am going to top this with, like every good lasagna, a bunch of mozzarella.
It's not lasagna unless there's a ton
Absolutely
of cheese, right?
not.
Amy is asking, what drink should we pair with this?
Ooh.
Good question, Amy.
Very good question. I mean, that wine that I just put glaze with is a nice Sicilian light Nero
a little red wine. I might start off with a Campari Spritz.
Oh, yeah.
And then I have a martini, and then I would hit the red wine, and then I wouldn't remember anything after that. Lavinia? Lavinia.
From Chicago. Hi.
Hey, Lavinia. I used to live in Chicago.
Yes, you
I love Chicago, the Windy City.
Great state. All right, now you do me a favor, and now this is the second layer of lasagna. Just pour that over kind of evenly and just coat it all around.
Sure. Layering it up just like a lasagna.
Exactly.
Right?
And again, look how many dishes we're saving. At home, you would have to cook the sauce, the noodles, the cheese sauce that goes inside. And again, to this point, we've only dirtied 1 bowl and 1 skillet.
The worst part about making a traditional lasagna is cooking those like big flimsy
Oh
noodles.
my
And
gosh.
you have to par cook them and time it. It's not easy, and I don't like doing it. So I love this because everything's in one pot. And it's so much easier. You're not even, boiling
Absolutely.
those noodles.
And you know, one of our favorite things is that Rachel uses a lot, and I've kind of adapted at home, is those no-boil lasagna noodles. If I am going to make a lasagna, they come out so nicely. I really enjoy those. Okay, so now our last layer of ravioli is on. We are going to do one more layer of mozzarella.
Gabby is asking if she can make this with meatballs instead of sausage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, Gabby, that's Gabby, our friend across the street. She's not a sausage fan.
Yeah, you could pretty much use anything, or if you don't like, you know, if you want to make this a vegetarian dish, you could skip the meat,
Completely
right?
omit it, yeah.
Totally.
I just kind of like that bolognese flavor it gives you.
Yeah, this is a nice hearty dish.
All right,
if
so
you're gonna
now
make it one skillet, you should make it, you know.
Just go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
All right, so we layered this up. I am going to cover this, as you do with most normal lasagnas. Cover it and throw it in the oven at 375 for about 25 minutes. And now, after 25 minutes after your timer goes off, I am going to throw it in uncovered for another 10, 15, 20 minutes about until the top gets golden and brown. One more secret when you're making lasagna is just as important as the baking time is to let it rest. You want it to rest for minimally 30 minutes, anywhere up to like an hour or 2 hours, because the more it sets up, the nicer the flavor gets and the easier it is to serve. So this heavy baby is my one skillet lazy lasagna. I think we should serve it up and give it a try. What do you think?
Patricia's asking how many does this feed?
This could easily feed 6 to 8, right?
For me, this is a single serving meal, but I think for a lot of people, yeah.
Excellent.
This could feed, it could feed a lot of people.
All right,
this is a great, like somebody suggested earlier, this is great for entertaining.
Absolutely.
Serves a lot of people and it's only
and you
one
just
dish.
plop the skillet right on the table, and that is really impressive.
Straight from the stovetop to the oven to the table.
Definitely.
Right?
All right,
Cool.
should we give it a try?
Diane's asking if the meat, if the raviolis are stuffed with meat.
They weren't. You absolutely could. I saw some in the store that were stuffed with spinach. I thought that might be fun too.
Oh, yeah.
I grew up eating the frozen ravioli. They make a nice meal. I always have a bag in the freezer.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this.
Let's try it out. It looks really good.
It does. Thanks.
Looks yummy.
Mmm.
This is really good.
And you see what I mean about letting it set? Is that it cools and you can really...
You know what's funny too is you would never know that this isn't like a layered lasagna because everything's there.
Everything's in
right?
it. Absolutely. I just
Very
like
good.
what you're eating. Okay.
All right, cool.
With my mouth full, I'm going to see what you're going to make for dinner in your one skillet.
All right, so Jeanette made a really yummy one skillet Italian lasagna. I'm going to the other side of the earth. We're going to Mexico.
Get your
Grab
passports,
your passports.
people.
We're making a Mexican one-pot chicken and rice. It's nice and spicy, can feed a big crowd. In this pan, I have some chicken thighs that I seasoned with cumin, paprika, chili powder, oregano, salt, and pepper. I just seared those over a high heat. And you're not going to cook them all the way through because we're going to finish these guys in the oven. We just want to get them nice and brown because that brown color equals really, really great flavor. Gary, we're saying hey to Gary from Montgomery Village in Maryland.
Hi, Gary.
Hey, Gary. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind stirring that up.
Absolutely.
To this, I'm going to add some dried chorizo.
Yum, I love chorizo.
I know, I love chorizo too. It adds such a great flavor that you can't really get from all those other spices. And I just love those little bits of meat that are going to be in there once it's all cooked up. And the great thing about the chorizo too is we're going to cook it out, so all that flavor comes out, and then we're going to add the rice to it. So the rice is going to suck up all that delicious chorizo flavor. This is a super flavorful, also very economical dish. All these things that you can find right in the grocery store. Chicken thighs are super inexpensive, and then we're going to add black beans, some rice, some chicken stock, some tomatoes. A lot of these things you probably have in your house already, right? So I'm adding a half of a large onion, or you could just use one small onion. Or you can throw in a couple scallions if you want to do that too.
Sounds great.
And I'm also going to add in a clove of garlic.
Yes. Oh wait,
Over here.
Do you have the grater?
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest cloves of garlic I've ever seen.
I know, look how big that is. Isn't that huge?
I'd say that
It's
probably
nuts.
equals about 2 real cloves of garlic. But the more garlic, the better, right?
Yeah, and this is a great dish where you can just get creative and add whatever you like to it. If you love garlic, add a couple cloves.
Yeah. Miriam loves how interactive this is. So do we.
We do too.
We are
We were
having
just
the best
talking
time
about
making
how much
these.
fun it is because we tape shows here every single day, but we never get to see people's reactions until afterwards. So it's fun to see all happen live.
Definitely.
So welcome everybody who's just now tuning in. Today we're making some one skillet suppers and desserts. We're getting started on our second supper. This is a one skillet chicken and rice. So in here I have some chorizo, some onion, some garlic, and now I'm going to add in my rice. And we just want to soak that up. Or cook that up so it soaks up all that yummy flavor.
Yeah.
And just to remind you guys too, if you want to make these tonight, all these recipes will be available on the website later today. So come back to our Facebook page and check that out. So in here we have, we just added our rice. We're just going to let that toast up, and we're going to add in 1 chopped chipotle and adobo pepper. Now you can find these at any grocery store. Sometimes they're a little tricky to find. Sometimes they're in the canned food aisle, and sometimes they're in the international aisle with all the Mexican foods and stuff.
Yep.
But it's basically just a smoked jalapeno pepper. I just chopped it up. I left the stems and the seeds in it because I want it to be nice and spicy. But if you don't like spicy food, you can just totally omit that ingredient.
Did you see that question from Gabby?
What did she say?
How many denim shirts does Grant own?
A lot. I opened my closet the other day and I laughed because it was all denim and there's one white shirt that I wore. I wore it last week.
Yeah, oh, you have the red plaid shirt you wore on Tuesday. That's lovely.
Right. You've seen one of my non-plaids, Gabby. Jennifer says, what kind of rice? That was just some short grain white rice. You can use brown rice in this dish if you want to make it a little healthier. You just need to increase the cooking time. And Brittany from Cincinnati, Ohio is just now joining us. Hello, Brittany. Welcome. So now I just added in some chopped tomatoes. You can use the ones from the can if you'd like. But we had some beautiful ones that were just sitting around, so I decided to throw those in. And I love the tomatoes because they give those nice, bright pops of acidity when you're eating the rice, which I really, really love. And I just added 1 can of black beans. Ooh, aloha to Melinda from Hawaii.
Ooh, beautiful.
So I just added in, we have everything in there now, so I'm going to add in 2 cups of chicken stock. I added 1 cup of rice. So we all know how to make rice, right? You add double the amount of stock, so that's 2 cups of stock, or you could just use water, but I like the flavor of stock a little bit better.
I just love how many dishes we're saving with this. Like, you'd make the rice, you'd cook the beans, you'd cook the chicken. So many dishes. There's going to be so many partners and spouses so happy that there's so few dishes to do.
It's true. So we're going to add our chicken thighs right back in there. We're going to put them on top. We're going to cook this in the oven at 375 for 20 minutes. We're going to remove it from the oven. Fluff the rice a little bit because we want to make sure that rice on top is getting cooked. Then you put it back in the oven for 20 minutes more, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's all done.
Awesome. Got one more dessert coming.
Here is our finished chicken and rice with chorizo, tomatoes, black beans. Doesn't that look yummy?
Let's plate some up because I want to try it.
Yeah, it's super good, and I just like to garnish it with a little bit of cilantro.
Ooh, this makes a really nice presentation for the table.
I know, totally, right? It's almost like a wink and a nudge to paella. Like
absolutely. Here, some sour cream too.
Yeah, and then I just do a few dollops of sour cream right on top of the chicken.
How beautiful that is. Arborio rice could be good too from Food Fun Nation. Hi guys.
That's true.
Definitely be a little bit like risotto, right? Yeah. That's Arborio rice.
Absolutely, and
Plate
I'll dish this up.
Excellent.
We'll take 1 little chicken thigh.
Should I get some forks?
And if you prefer chicken breasts or chicken tenders, you can totally use that at home. I've made this before with chicken legs, which I really love.
Yeah. I definitely suggest like bone and skin on though.
Yeah.
Right, because that really keeps the flavor.
And it gives a lot of great flavor.
Are we sharing?
Look at that, isn't that cool?
It's gorgeous.
Chicken and rice in 1 pot, super Mexican flavored.
Hi, Bruce from Boise, Idaho.
Ooh, Boise, Idaho. You know what, Bruce? I love your potatoes. They're the best potatoes on earth.
Right? I'm gonna try the rice.
I should have added potato. Potatoes would be really good in this.
Oh my god.
You like it?
I love the toasted. When you toast the rice, it gets a little crispy. Yeah. It's spicy too.
Isn't it nice and spicy?
Very spicy. I'm gonna have a sip of my water.
All right. So far we've made, just to remind everybody, we have our pie on the fly in the oven. Jeanette made a beautiful One-Skillet lasagna. I made this yummy One-Skillet chicken and rice, and now we're going to get started on our 4th dessert. Which is?
4th One-Skillet meal of the 24 minutes that we've been going on here. This is if you've been watching these, you know dessert isn't super my bag. We leave the desserts up to the master right here. So a few weeks ago, my mom was entertaining, and she brought out this s'mores dip in a hot dish, and everyone was going nuts. And I was like, Mom, what was in that? She was like, chocolate chips, marshmallow, and served it with graham cracker.
Yum.
So it is a 3-ingredient, One-Skillet dessert. Yes.
Yum.
Can you open this for me?
Totally.
You need a little bit of muscle.
Carmen is asking if we can add chives instead of cilantro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely you could. You can use any sort of, fresh herb on top.
Maybe use the knife. We can't get this back open.
This is tough.
Any kind of fresh herbs on top of something when it comes out of a dish is really nice. Thank you, darling.
Hello to Chantel from Memphis, Tennessee. Hey, Chantel.
Hi, Chantel.
How's it going in Tennessee?
Need a clean spoon. And now we have this skillet preheating in the back, so you're going to pretty instantaneously see some of these chocolate chips starting to melt. I'm going to tilt it to the camera so you can see that.
Yeah, that looks great.
See that? So, okay, again, hot skillet, 1 bag of chocolate chips. Grant and I are using extra dark chocolate chips. That's our favorite.
What we like, yeah.
This
is another. I say this a lot, but I always encourage people to get creative in the kitchen. And this is a great one to get started with. Since it is only 3 ingredients, you can add a few other ingredients in there that you like. You could use, instead of dark chocolate, milk chocolate.
Definitely.
You could use Reese cups if you want it to be peanut buttery.
Joan says, can recipes be made for smaller portions for 1 or 2 people? 100%.
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to do a little math, or you could, you know, make it. A lot of these dishes we made today will save in the fridge for a couple days, so you can, you know, have it for lunch and dinner the next day as well. Oh yeah, did you guys take a look at this beautiful chicken and rice? Look at that.
Where'd my lasagna go? Well, we started eating it too. This was my lazy One-Skillet lasagna. We'll give you another view of the whole thing later. That was how many? That wasn't even a minute.
Yeah.
How quickly that came
melted.
together. Okay, so now Grant. I'm going to ask you to help me top this with some marshmallows.
Sure. Absolutely, and we're just using these big old marshmallows, right? I love this. We're bringing the s'mores indoors, which is fun. Becca from Sweet Home, Alabama.
Oh, Sweet Home, Alabama. Hi, Becca.
Hi, Becca. I love that movie with Reese Witherspoon. It's good. Was Orlando Bloom in that one?
I don't remember.
Who knows?
She goes, no.
My friend Katie O'Malley over there was like, he wasn't in that.
All right, so now I've got the broiler preheating on high right here. These broilers go really quickly. Broiler on high. And I'm just going to pop this right underneath. Hopefully it doesn't go on fire, but maybe it will.
Hopefully. All right, I just looked back at the timer. We have 1 minute until our pie on the fly.
Great timing.
Was
I'm
good
really
timing.
impressed.
So if you guys are just now joining us or missed the first portion of this, at the top of the webcast, we made a pie on the fly. It's a recipe we've never made before.
Never made it.
Gina asked us to use blueberries, so we mixed our blueberries with a little bit of cornstarch, some lemon zest, some sugar, popped it into a cast iron pan, put some puff pastry over the top, put it in the oven for 20 minutes, and it's going to be done in 40 seconds, and we're going to check it out live. I was going to go peek on it, but now I don't want to.
I want it to be real live reaction. Let me check the broiler here. That's still heating up a bit.
Lori is asking if there's any tips to make chocolate not a clumpy mess.
I'm going to have you take this one.
Yeah, I would say if you cook it over a lower heat, if you're using a double boiler, you definitely want to make sure you don't get any moisture or water in there, because that will definitely, you know, seize up your chocolate. But cook it over a nice low heat, you know, and just keep your eye on it.
We're shouting out to Joy Donnarumma.
Joy Donnarumma,
Hi,
hello.
Mom.
It's Jeanette's mom.
She's the inspiration behind my s'mores dip.
Yeah.
My lovely
Check
mother.
it out. How's it
Those,
look?
oh my gosh, they're browning. I don't even want to open it.
Ooh, I can smell the
I can smell it too. It smells like summer in here.
It smells like
Hi, Wendy in Connecticut.
Ooh,
There's our timer.
Our timer's going off.
Do you have a mop-peen?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
All right. Let's see what it looks like.
How does it look?
All right, this is what it looks like. I wouldn't say it's completely cooked yet.
It's not.
Right? It probably needs another like 10 minutes or so.
Probably.
But let's take a look at it
We can
anyway.
see how the inside's going. Well, wait, in the meantime, we've almost got some smoke coming out of here.
Ooh, look at those.
Caught
Those are
those just in
beautiful.
time.
That looks like something I would make really, really late at night
Right?
when I'm having a craving. Yes.
Can you check that out? Look at those marshmallows. Toasty and delicious. No campfire necessary.
Amy from Michigan says this is so fun.
We are having fun, so thanks
I'm
for
glad you're
noticing,
having fun
Amy.
because this is a lot of fun for the both
Yeah.
of us as well. So I want to show you guys this pie on the fly that we just made. You know, like I said before, we've never made this before. We did it on the fly. We're testing it with you guys. And I'm taking a look at it. I'm thinking it's not completely cooked yet, but let's cut into it and
It's
try it
definitely
anyway.
on its way, though.
Yeah, I think if this, you know, were in the oven another like 10 or 15 minutes, it would definitely be cooked and
Yeah.
ready to eat. But, you know, let's try it anyway, right?
Well, yeah, well, I mean, we can taste it. We'll pop it back in the oven, and we can post the full recipe and photo later on our Facebook page.
Yeah, totally. So let's dig in there. Yeah, the puff pastry on top isn't completely cooked because it should be like puffy and flaky, but it's not quite there yet. And, you know, we do have a little raw sugar in there.
Hey.
And some of our blueberries aren't cooked. So, you know what?
Carmen
I think
says
it
to
just
add
needs...
coconut.
Ooh, coconut would be really
Do
yummy.
we have
in
any
this.
coconut?
Do we have coconut? Woo Woo's gonna check out to see if we have coconut. Our friend Tina Woo is in the kitchen
In the
right
house.
now. She's gonna see if we have some coconut. You know, when I make this again later today, I might add a little extra cornstarch as well because it looks a little soupy. Thank you, Tina.
I'm so
Ooh,
excited.
and this is toasted coconut.
Oh, nice.
Let's just put this right on top, and we'll see what it's like on top of
Those
the.
are easily
pastry.
on their way.
It looks.
You're
good.
right. That needs another 10-15 minutes. Check back on our Facebook page. We're going to post a photo of it completely done and the full recipe. In the meantime, can we try some of this s'mores dip? Because it's like calling my name. So again, the third ingredient, graham crackers, 1 skillet, 1 bag of chocolate chips, 1 bag of marshmallows, a few graham crackers. Graham crackers are my favorite too.
Yum. This looks so good.
Awesome. Can we get some stringy action here? Woo! Is it hot?
It's so good. And it's so much easier than staying next to a really hot campfire.
You're right.
Yum. This was really good.
This was fun.
So, just to like remind you what we made today, First we started out with our pie on the fly, which isn't quite done yet. It's in the oven, still cooking, but we will post that recipe later today once we've perfected it. For dinner, Jeanette made...
I made this awesome, heavy baby of a one-skillet lazy lasagna supper. I used homemade store-bought ravioli, which is a tip I learned from Rachel a few years back, and it came together really, really quickly and could feed an army.
And then I made this beautiful one-skillet Mexican chicken and rice, chicken thighs,
so
black beans, chorizo, everything all in one pot. Bakes in the oven in about 40 minutes, and you have dinner that's ready to go. And then lastly, Jeanette made this beautiful thing.
This 3-ingredient s'mores one-skillet dip, which
Yum.
the two of us and everyone standing in this kitchen is totally going to devour.
Yeah. So thank you.
Over.
Thank you to Joy for that inspiration.
Thanks, Mom.
That was really yummy. Thank you to all of you guys who are watching today, who helped us out with that pie on the fly, who gave us wonderful suggestions, and just for tuning in general.
Really
we have
good
so much
kitchen
fun doing
questions.
this. So thank you guys for joining us. On tomorrow's Rachael Ray Show on Friday, which is tomorrow, Rachel made my favorite recipe of all time that she's ever made on this show. It's a black bean chalupa. So make
good.
sure you watch that because it really was my favorite
It's like
recipe
a big nacho.
she's ever made. It's
Awesome.
so good. So thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you.
And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.